Welcome, welcome, welcome to Labs Advisors Live. My name is Joe McHugh. I'm here with my great co-host, beautiful co-host, Kimber Walton. Kimber, how are you?
Good, and it's Wednesday, and I'm used to it now. I'm used to it being Wednesday.
But are you ready for me to ask who next week's guest is?
That is
Okay.
not, I'm not ready for that, but I'm ready that it's Wednesday, and it only took me, a month to get used to that?
Yeah, we figured it out.
But we've got an awesome guest today.
Yeah, absolutely. We welcome the fabulous, very enthusiastic, high energy Donnie Brookman. And I say high energy because Kelly Cody says that you are her only person she likes to go to Disney with because of your energy. You'll have to tell me that story someday.
Oh, we will definitely be able to share that. We had such a good time. You know, it's being, since I live in Orlando full time and the parks are just in my backyard, it is fun to go in and play like I'm only there for the day and we have to do every single ride, which I think between the four of us that were there that day, I think we hit almost every ride at Epcot possible with the exception of like one.
Kelly has told me, and this probably isn't for Orlando, but for Los Angeles, she has the park down to like, she knows when to go to everything. And her just explaining it exhausted me. So I can't even imagine. But apparently you can keep up with that. So
I told her I got her covered in Orlando for World. And then when we go to Land next year for family reunion, she's going to have us covered there.
There you go. We love that.
Well, the signature blinds behind you tell me that you're not in Florida. Where are you today?
I happen to be in Austin. So I'm in Austin for the week. Came in for Gary Keller's masterminds for the top agent and leader masterminds this week. So took a break though to come here and spend a few minutes on live with our Labs Advisors Live. Love it. Thanks for having me.
And so what are we talking about today? What do you want to go over?
Yeah, I'd love to. So, you know, I've been with Keller Williams for just over 8 years, but most recently joined the labs team here at KWRI. And a large portion of my world is helping to have a deeper connection with how agents and leaders are utilizing our technology, and not only utilizing it, but having wins. So I want to talk through today some of the wins that we've had most recently, what we do with those, and then also share a way for everyone to tune in for future wins and stories and contribute maybe some of their own.
Love that. Awesome. Well, I'll throw up the screen. Anything else you want to say about your role, or did you? I mean, I don't know. I'm bad. Let's just throw up the chart. That's good.
I mean, the word senior.
Hey, we can talk.
We know Donnie's young, so senior labs manager means experienced, knowledgeable, relevant.
I don't know about all of that.
Let's add a lot of those adjectives. Yeah.
I don't know about all of that, but I know that I love what I do, and it is a privilege and an honor to be a voice for the agent and the leader here as we work on building the best technology products available for you.
Love that. Cool.
Yeah.
And as part of that, as we build this technology, we do hear a lot. In the past, and we're completely open in this, we've heard stories of frustration. And a lot of that has changed. Like in the past year, I think the number of those stories that are frustration stories has dropped. And the number of those stories really of people succeeding at a high level, as you can see from the slide I threw up, has increased. And I think we do sometimes still have some holdouts of people who are maybe a little shy to get back into it. And I think we want to highlight those people who are using it at a high level and excited about it.
Yeah, 100%. I think that we have, we've gone through some interesting growing pains as we transition into being a technology company and providing our own built ecosystem of technology suite and tools to agents and leaders. And of course, we went through some growing pains that were there, and it's cool to see agents that are either diving in for the first time or maybe even a little hesitant to re-dive in. I think one of the coolest things about Command specifically for an agent, because I'm also an agent in Florida, so I'm an end user of the product just as much as I am involved in the design and the guiding of our roadmap and helping to fix it when those problems arise. So like you mentioned, I was chatting with a couple of regional technology trainers last week. And internally, when we do have those growing pains, we track them through a ticketing system. And they were celebrating the fact that they were like 3 or 4 of the trainers were like, we have 0 tickets in our queue right now that are open.
Wow.
And it's been a while since we've been able to experience that. And I think that's unique for, I mean, any technology company that you'd be using, whether it's your iPhone, whether it's Facebook that we're on right here, they all use a similar styled system of tracking and fixing those. And I think it would be safe to say that you're never going to have zero. That's just an unachievable goal there. But to have that few from our top trainers who are in the product every day and representing you, I think was a huge win.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So before we go through, because I saw a name in the chat here, Garret, it looks like he's tuning in. And Garret is actually going to be one of our success stories here in a few minutes. But I wanted to chat a few of these.
And he got excited and he referenced the giraffe. So Garret and I both love your giraffe, apparently, which we don't see anymore because you changed offices. But that's an aside.
I did, yes. I used to have my 2 giraffes that framed my face and my Zoom background there. Great to see you, Garret. Thanks for being here. I want to go through, and we're going to get to Garret's story in a second, but one of the things I do is I collect these success stories, and then we find a way to, how can we best share these? So that way we can help agents and leaders who might be resistant to either dive in or re-dive in from a previous experience. And we're going to highlight just a couple of the most recent success stories. And I want to go through these one at a time, really high level, because these are recorded sessions. So if you want to see in detail and hear about Zach Ruff, who we're going to talk about first, or any of the stories that we cover, they're all on kwconnect.com. So if you go to KW Connect and you go into, there's a Connect Live on demand, there's a series of all of our recordings, along with a content calendar that has multiple live streams available every single day to help you all tune in. So every 2 weeks, we're hosting this Command Tips from the Pros. And Zach Ruff here, who is from the Carolinas region, he actually was our first Tips from the Pros guest in series, where he runs a productivity coaching team. And in the first quarter of the year, he brought in over 300 leads using social ads on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
With an average lead spend of just under $1.16. That's there.
Wait, under $1.
$1.16.
Oh, whoa.
That were right there.
Not that that's that much worse. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm personally seeing $2, so I'm impressed by that. So
yeah, I think it's a great cost per lead that he's achieving. And the cool thing was that Zach joined me and actually shared his screen and walked through step by step his entire process. Because I think one thing that can be kind of intimidating when you're thinking about building a social ad is, what does it look like? I think of Kimber, I believe you make graphics for this series, and you are a digital marketing just expert. I love everything that I see that you create. And that's intimidating to me because I'm not that creative of an individual. I don't jump into a blank canvas. I can't just dive in. I need some templates. I need some guidance there. And Zach has a cool method where he's just using listings that already are living within their brokerage. He's importing in the listing and it brings in the description. He's not editing anything about the description. He's going through, casting a wide net and choosing geographically what type of targeting. And specifically, he uses the auto audience. So now we have those 3 audience types. When you're building an ad, you have auto audience. You can toggle into the custom audience and maybe add in some specific interest or list using some and or logic, whether you want to expand or contract that net that you're casting into Facebook world on leads to capture. And then you also can save those custom audiences now and add them to a saved audiences tab. So if you find an audience that you've previously used and you really had success with, you don't have to recreate that every time. You can simply go to that 3rd tab. And that's a new addition that just came right the same week that Zach joined me on Connect Live.
Cool. We love that.
Now, this is just one. I'm going to go through a couple more of these here. Nia Dollar, who joined us actually on a panel at Family Reunion. And this panel inspired this full series. So when we were together in Orlando at Family Reunion, Nia told a great story about her golden letter follow plan. As everyone, I'd love to see in the chat, maybe if you've experienced or been joining, or Kimber and Joe here, the Pivot Shift Ahead group that does daily calls. Are you guys aware of this group?
That's James Shaw, right?
Yeah, that's right. So James Shaw started this at the very beginning of COVID and shutdown. And it's still going strong today. They meet every single morning. And Nakia actually was brought to us from that group. So she was joining every morning and talked about the golden letter. Well, she took the golden letter physical concept where people were, writing their own letters, stamped in the mail, and people were posting photos in the Facebook group. Well, she created a follow-up smart plan. Not only did she create it and find success for herself, but then she publicly shared it to our library. So if you go to the Smart Plans applet inside of Command, and you go to the library and you search by author, and you search for the author Nia Dollar, you'll actually find not only that smart plan, but a series of smart plans that she's developed and implemented in her own business and found success.
I love that.
I love sharing is caring, right? I think that library is such a wealth of knowledge. I know that sometimes every now and then you'll run into something where you're like, I don't even know if that person meant to publish something. That's a few and far between though. But it's gold. There's gold in there, right? Yeah. That's not a pun, honestly. Yeah. And follow up specific lead gen strategies that we have, they just kind of are isolated by themselves, and smart plans is the level up. It's almost the take the milk and turn it into meat, something of substance, right?
Yeah,
that was
for sure.
And I was gonna say, what was that, Kimber?
Call me back later. I'll think of a better one.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to remember, you know me, I'm going to remember that one forever.
Okay,
well, I think one of the cool things about that, and you're saying, sharing is caring. And I think it's really unique to have this culture of sharing. One of my first jobs when I was in high school, I was really young. I worked at a marina, and every day at the end of the day, all the fishermen would come back from their day, and some would have a decent sized fish, and they could actually weigh that in and get a certificate. And a part of that certificate was I had to ask them where they were fishing at. And I always thought and assumed they were telling me exactly correct. And then I would walk inside, and my boss at the time owned, he goes, "Oh, that's definitely not where they caught that fish." They didn't want to share their secret sauce and the secret location where they were able to find that. And I think it's cool that here within Keller Williams, we have such a high standard for culture of sharing, where not only Nakia, but other agents have been able to say, hey, this is what I found success with, and I want to share this with all of you to have equal success.
Yeah. Now, so Kimber, I think we have to put this in Facebook because that only went to YouTube. But if you want to find this, you can just search by Nakia's name. Is that correct? As the author in the Smart Plan Library?
I'll throw her name in Facebook too. Sorry.
That's cool.
I'm new here.
Yeah, StreamYard is funny. It won't allow us to post to Facebook. So if we try to type in the chat here, it'll just go to YouTube and nowhere else. So people on YouTube are just like, what is going on right now? But no, I love this. And the Smart Plan Library is really great. And I always look at those as you could either grab them and go, or they're foundational for building on. Now I say grab them and grow with an asterisk. Always remember, everybody here, read your smart plans before you launch them, because if it says Donnie might have a smart plan, and it might be when moving to Orlando, and if you're out in Southern California, you're just going to confuse your people. So always make sure you read your smart plans. And big thing here, and they are great foundational pieces that you can use to just launch a successful follow-up or whatever it is you're doing. So
I learned how to highlight comments.
Oh, Kimber.
I'm telling you, I am super impressed with this platform. And I mean, this is like a whole professional production. I love it.
Yeah, we fake it really well. So
remember when we started with Donnie is so positive?
Yes, we did.
He's endeared by Kimber highlighting her own comments. So.
Well, I haven't even thrown up. We're totally on. Whenever somebody brings up buy dirt, I always throw up this video. I just have it ready to go. It's great. So.
Oh, professional.
It was one of the topics at Masterminds this morning. Garret brought up buy dirt a few times that were in there.
Yep.
So let's take a look. So I saw Garret was on earlier. So Garret was so gracious and spent some time with me just a few weeks ago on Connect Live talking about success he's had with designs and a listing presentation. He told a really cool story, and Garret showed how he has two different listing presentation types. He has one that I would call an evergreen that is pre-printed and always on hand. So that way, if he gets a listing appointment or a come list me call, he can, grab that one and it's there to go. Yep. Second listing appointment is anytime he has the lead wait time, which, by the way, he tells a great story in this about how he was got a go listing appointment on his way back from vacation in Hawaii. And I was like, I'm jealous on all accounts there. Not only were you vacationing in Hawaii, but you're coming home to a come list me. I was just like, sign me up every
Garret. Rough life.
So he tells a great story about that. If you want to go check out the recording and see step by step what he does. But he also, when he does have the time, Garret will actually customize a listing presentation for that particular seller. So he'll drive out to the property, use his phone. He says, make sure you get out of the car. Don't take it through the window. But he gets out of the car, takes a nice photo of the front of the house, adds that to the listing presentation, puts their names on it. So that way, when he does have the opportunity to sit down with Mr. and Mrs. Seller, he can stand out that much more. And he attested earning a listing with a seller who called him a day and a half after their listing appointment and chose to work with him because of the marketing materials that he left behind, specifically for that reason. So it works, and it only takes a couple of minutes to jump into a design, use one of the 5 listing presentation templates that we have available, spend some time customizing that evergreen, and then when you do have time, go back into designs and customize that for each seller that you have the opportunity to meet with.
And the cool thing I love about that is if you make the evergreen one, it's not that hard to then go do the custom one because 90% of what you'd be doing is there. Don't start from scratch, right? Don't go and do the whole thing over again. Take that and you can add back in those pages that are more unique to the property. Simply duplicate it, add those pages in and go. So instead of it taking, 5 hours, and I know that's a bit of an exaggeration, it'll take 30 minutes, right? So
no, 100%, Joe. That's a great tip because a lot of people don't realize too, inside of designs, there's the 3 dots, the ellipsis menu, or some people refer to it as a meatball menu, and it's just not something I can get on board with. I'm just going to be transparent right now.
I'm all about calling it the meatball menu, mainly because people always say the what and then laugh when I explain it. It's a good it's a way to break up the class that I'm teaching. So
no, I totally get that. And it definitely catches my attention each time. So, but there's in designs, when you're on the designs app in Command, there's actually an option to make a copy from right there. So if you take that evergreen template that's already customized, make a copy of that single template, and then you can use that same ellipsis 3-dot menu or meatball menu, and you can rename that template to be specific to that listing. So that way, the next time you need to come back and find it, you can quickly search, you can see it, and you're not recreating and starting from the first step every single time.
Yeah. Donnie, I have a serious question. Do you call the 3 lines? What do you call that?
I do call that the hamburger menu.
I do too. I just wanted to, I would feel cooler if I say what Donnie says. So yeah, there we go.
I do call that the hamburger menu. And yes, I definitely call it the hamburger menu. I don't know what it is about the meatball menu that just doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't slip off the tongue as easy.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Awesome.
So I got a couple more stories that I want to share here, and then I want to tease up some things that we have coming next. This was a really fun one that was actually last week. So last week, Cassie, who is a director of operations, brand new to the real estate industry in January of 2022, joined this team, the Your Nashville agent team out of the KW Music City office as their director of ops in January, operations manager. I think I got that title wrong. And Cassie has just taken command by storm. So I had the privilege of working with Cassie and developing their heavy sphere of influence-based team out of the Your Nashville agent team. And they developed a 36 touch plan in multiple streams. So they have one 36 touch plan for the entire team, the entire organization, combining both in-person events and a series of smart plans and, phone calls, holiday emails, monthly newsletters. What's cool though is that their in-person events actually ends up being 24 touches annually on its own. Sorry, a client giveaway. They do a quarterly client giveaway. That's what it is.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And the amount of marketing that happens leading up to the giveaway and after the giveaway equals 24 touches just in that one segment of their marketing plan. And it's really purposeful about how well it's planned out in advance. We're going to have a giveaway on this date, which means net 7 days before the event, this is what needs to happen. 14 days before the giveaway, this is what needs to happen. She creates a landing page using the contact form, that contact widget, to capture all of the submissions for the giveaway that she's getting, which automatically brings in leads so that she can tag them in command appropriately. She's got a great tagging strategy around her monthly newsletter as well, where she just adds a custom tag, a monthly newsletter, so that every month she does design the newsletter in an external platform and imports in the HTML, then uses a single step smart plan to send that monthly. And she sorts her database by that tag, monthly newsletter, and then uses a bulk action to send that out every single month. Really streamlining the process for the team and creating that consistency in the marketing that their customers have learned to expect. Cassie was a rock star and shared all of those secrets plus more last week. It was actually one of the most engaging sessions we've had as we've kind of been building up our audience. We had lots of questions that were coming through, and it was so popular that she even joined our KW Worldwide organization the next day on their growth call to share it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I love that, because she is using, from what I'm hearing you say, she's using, it's a 90% command, but you did say she does design it outside, which is fair.
Yeah.
And we always like it when we always tell agents, and you could probably say this, is we never want to disrupt your business. So if there's something you're using that you like, we don't want you to come to command just because it's command. We want you to come to command because it solves a problem for you. And oftentimes they will still be using those things outside, which is great. And she's using them together. And I love hearing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's, really important. And it's kind of strange. People are caught off guard when they hear me say, oh, we use an external system. And I'm never going to discredit you. And don't be afraid to share, hey, this is something that I use and it's a cool tool for my business and it solves this problem. That's awesome. I want to hear about it. Because maybe command will be able to do that for you one day. Maybe command does it today and you just weren't aware, or maybe command does it today and it's not the way that works for your business. And that is 100% okay. Because what's cool is Cassie only uses that for their monthly newsletter template. All of their holiday templates, she doesn't even create in command. KWRI has actually created, our marketing team has created marketing templates for a majority of our holidays throughout the year, even including one of my favorites, not really, tax day. Like a reminder that tax day is approaching. So there are pre-created templates that require zero customization that are ready to go with just a few button clicks to send out in the smart plans. And that's what she uses there.
Cool.
Now, before I go to the next screen, because on each of these in the bottom right-hand corner of the slide, there's been a QR code. And that QR code leads you to the Connect Live calendar that not only includes command tips from the pros, but it also includes all of the live stream content that we have available through Connect Live, which is just such a tremendous value. Kimber and Bo Mankiti were teaching the Leverage series, a portion of the Leverage series today. Like that is a class that I've spent hundreds of dollars to take in person. And it was just available this week. We have business planning clinic at least once, if not twice a year, offered through Connect Live. So many great things. So bookmark that page, revisit it. There's tons of great training content that's available for you. And I also want to share this QR code here. Out of all of these success stories, I know that there are more out there. And believe it or not, it's sometimes kind of difficult to have people share them with us. So we created this really easy to use intake form. If you scan this code, if you have a win that you would love to share about how KW technology has helped power a portion of your business or solve a problem for your business, we would love to hear about it. And maybe it could be featured in an upcoming Connect Live session. Maybe it will be a in-person event like family reunion or mega camp. We also have outfront.kw.com, a digital magazine that we curate content for. There are so many different communication mediums and outlets that we use to share these stories. And we would love to hear about your success story if you do have one. And As we do that up, can I share just two more quick ones?
Oh, absolutely.
So June 7th, next week on the 31st, join Sydney Seymour, who's our regional technology trainer and KWU certified instructor from the Carolinas region. She's going to be interviewing Chris Crumpler, who is also a portion of our family reunion panel. Chris shared at Family Reunion what the monthly neighborhood nurture has done for his business. And then about 60 days after the event, he contacted us and said, by the way, since Family Reunion, I've added all of our past and closed customers to the monthly neighborhood nurture. It's a part of his closing process. And it resulted in helping him take 3 additional listings.
Cool.
3 listings from an email that automatically gets sent out on his behalf every single month. Yeah. So he's going to be sharing all the details behind that and how he executes that strategy on Tuesday on Connect Live. So definitely go back to that calendar and check out there. I also heard of one just this week where I'm interviewing the agent this Friday, and then we're going to be working to get on the books. I'm hoping to get him in on June 7th for tips from the pros, where we have an agent who used designs to design a custom home valuation postcard. He then downloaded that postcard from Designs and used the campaigns applet through a direct mail campaign to physically send this mailer to a specific location. So he geolocated his target audience, and then he used a custom set of filters based on price point and last recorded sale date. And that little magic sauce, and he's going to share more about it once we have the date and time scheduled. So keep an eye on the calendar. Today, he is executing a luxury listing agreement from that single postcard campaign that he sent out.
Love that. Love that.
There are so many great ways that you can leverage technology and specifically KW Tech to help grow and expand your business. So thank you guys for letting me be here to capture and to share a few of these success stories so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do know you have to run. So thank you so much for your time. And thank you, everybody. I know this was short today, but that's all good. We will see you next week. Kimber we have no idea who it's going to be, do we, Kimber?
We do not.
Okay, great. Just wanted to clarify that. I carry no weight on finding our guests, so I'm shaming her, but really, she's a rock star.
Will you quickly remind us how Connect Live works, like where we go access that calendar, because there are really good subjects on there, and I think agents forget that it's there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just swapped screens so that we can see Connect Live in action. Notice first, I'm already logged in at kwconnect.com. And then right here, if you go to training, that training tab at the top, and you go to the Connect Live calendar. Now, before you even go there, when you go to kwconnect.com, there's Bo and Kimber. They're live right now. So you can go there, the Leverage Series Day 1, and you can start tuning in and watching. And then all of these are processed by our KW video team and then posted here so that they will be forever content on KW Connect. You can always go back and rewatch the recordings. And I love the recordings because it allows you as a viewer to pause, rewind, or fast forward to match your own learning speed. So if you wanted to hear something again, if you want to slow down, you can pause. You're in complete control at that point after the live stream. Back on here, though, the training tab here, you can go to the Connect Live calendar, and this is going to show you all of the confirmed sessions that we have coming up. All of these will let you click through to see more details, and then you can return to kwconnect.com at that specific time, and it will be live and waiting for you.
And this is one of those learn from my mistake moments. These are all in Central Time. This particular page does not change, if I remember correctly. So definitely make sure it's in your calendar for the right time.
That is correct. As someone who lives in Eastern Time and travels to Central quite frequently, I learned the hard way this week that we use Outlook as an email client. And Outlook does not automatically change time zones when you travel. You have to manually go in and do that. But now I know for next time.
Well, Outlook should change that.
Wow.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to go to ideas.outlook.com and see what it is.
Is that a thing?
I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing.
All right.
That's cool that that's a thing here, though.
Awesome.
Yes.
I don't know. It's Kimber. I was trying to close this down, and you asked another question, so I'm going to let you close this down now because I'm like, we're off the rails now, and it's not my fault.
Honestly, this is great. I needed a visual. I needed a reminder. I did this every single day during the pandemic, and so you guys are doing, and I'm saying you guys in the sense of KWRI is doing an amazing job at engaging training and subjects that are directed to getting more business, and growing your team and growing your organization and running a better organization. Like, it's everything. I've been looking at the curriculum. It's not just if you're trying to learn more about tech or if you're trying to learn more about, that all the subjects are covered. So I love that Donnie has come here and like highlighted our specific corner of the world. Sometimes it feels like, which is the tech space, but we are
and I'd love to add to that just really quick, because there's, a huge team that makes this happen. But anytime that you have a chance in our KW Command group, all of our Facebook groups, there are certain members from the KWRI team that are in there and see posts. So anytime that you can give shout outs to Meredith Maples, James Shaw, our whole Keller Williams University team, and then specifically in the Connect Live space, we have Grace, who's our Connect Live manager. And oftentimes you don't see or hear them, but George is one of our live stream operators. He is who, he and the whole live stream team make sure that we come through loud and clear. There's a whole production that happens behind the scenes and a slew of people to make this happen. So Kimber, thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, thank you. That's an awesome team.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, enjoy your rest of your Wednesday, everybody.
Bye.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.